Welcome to Jesting Pilot. Join us as we revisit, explore, and discuss the texts, beliefs, and people informing the development of the Western Hermetic Tradition. If you would like to learn more, consider subscribing to Jesting Pilot. Like and share this video and visit our website, www.fromthequarries.com/jestingpilot. Plotinus is a central figure in the history of Western philosophy, known for his foundational role in the development of Neoplatonism. He made significant contributions to metaphysics, ethics, and epistemology, and his work has had a profound impact on subsequent philosophical and theological thought. Plotinus, 204–270 CE, was an ancient philosopher who founded the Neoplatonic school of philosophy. Born in Lycopolis, Egypt, he studied in Alexandria before moving to Rome, where he established his own school and attracted a circle of devoted students. Plotinus's teachings were primarily based on his interpretation and systematization of Plato's philosophy, and his works were collected and edited by his student Porphyry into 6 sets of 9 treatises known as the Enneads. His thought has been influential not only in the development of Neoplatonism, but also in Christian, Jewish, and Islamic philosophy. Plotinus's early life is relatively obscure, but it is known that he began his philosophical studies in Alexandria, where he studied under the philosopher Ammonius Saccas. Around 244 CE, he moved to Rome and established his own school, which quickly gained a reputation for its rigorous intellectual atmosphere. Plotinus's circle of students included prominent intellectuals, such as the Roman senator Rogatianus and the future emperor Gallienus. In his later years, Plotinus embarked on an ambitious but ultimately unsuccessful attempt to establish a philosophical community, the City of Philosophers, with the support of Gallienus. Plotinus died in 270 CE, leaving behind a body of work that would shape the course of Western philosophy. Plotinus's philosophical system is centered on the concept of the One, an ultimate transcendent reality that is the source of all existence. The One, which is beyond being and non-being, emanates the divine intellect, nous, the realm of eternal forms or ideas. From the intellect emanates the world soul, which connects the intelligible realm to the material world. Plotinus believed that the human soul is a divine spark, capable of ascending to union with the One through philosophical contemplation and the practice of virtue. His ethics emphasized the importance of cultivating virtues, such as wisdom, courage, and self-control, to purify the soul and enable it to ascend to the divine realm. In epistemology, Plotinus held that true knowledge can only be gained through intellectual intuition, which transcends the limitations of sense perception and discursive reasoning. One of the main strengths of Plotinus's philosophy is its systematic and coherent presentation of Platonic thought, which provided a foundation for the development of Neoplatonism. His innovative synthesis of Platonic, Aristotelian, and Stoic ideas contributed to a richer understanding of metaphysics, ethics, and epistemology. Moreover, his focus on the human soul's potential for union with the divine inspired a sense of spiritual aspiration and self-improvement that resonated with many philosophers and theologians throughout history. Plotinus's philosophy has been criticized for its highly abstract and speculative nature, which can render his ideas challenging to grasp and relate to everyday experience. This focus on an elaborate metaphysical system may lead to feelings of detachment from the material world and the practical aspects of human existence. Furthermore, some critics take issue with Plotinus's epistemological approach, which emphasizes intellectual intuition as the primary means of attaining true knowledge, while downplaying the roles of sense perception and reason. This prioritization of intellectual intuition can be perceived as elitist or excessively esoteric, potentially alienating those who struggle to access such intuitive insights. Major ideas and structure of Plotinus's philosophical system. The One. At the apex of Plotinus's metaphysical system is the One, an ultimate, transcendent, and ineffable reality that is beyond being and non-being. The One is the source of all existence and the cause of all things. It is characterized by its absolute simplicity, unity, and perfection. Plotinus often compares the One to a divine light or an overflowing fountain from which all things emanate. Emanation. Plotinus employs the concept of emanation to explain how the One gives rise to the diverse phenomena of the cosmos. According to this doctrine, the One emanates the divine intellect, nous, and the world's soul in a hierarchical and descending order. Each level of reality emanates from the higher level without diminishing the perfection of its source, creating a cosmic hierarchy of existence. The intellect, nous. The intellect is the second principle in Plotinus's metaphysical system, emanating from the One. It is the realm of eternal forms or ideas, which are the archetypes of all things in the material world. The intellect is characterized by its self-awareness and self-contemplation, which generates the multiplicity of forms. Plotinus identifies the intellect with the Platonic demiurge or divine craftsman, responsible for shaping the cosmos according to the forms. The world soul. The world soul is the third principle in Plotinus's metaphysics, emanating from the intellect. It functions as an intermediary between the intelligible realm and the material world. The world soul gives life and order to the physical cosmos, creating a vital connection between the eternal forms and the mutable realm of matter. Matter and the material world. Plotinus views the material world as the lowest level of reality, characterized by its impermanence, change, and multiplicity. Matter is considered the principle of indeterminacy, limitation, and privation, which gives rise to the imperfections and evils of the physical world. Despite its flaws, Plotinus regards the material world as a reflection of the divine, with beauty and goodness present in its forms and order. The human soul. Plotinus maintains that the human soul is a divine spark, emanating from the world soul. The soul is essentially immaterial and immortal, with the potential to ascend to union with the One through philosophical contemplation and the practice of virtue. Plotinus's ethics focus on the cultivation of virtues, such as wisdom, courage, and self-control, which enable the soul to purify itself and progress towards its divine source. Epistemology. In terms of knowledge, Plotinus emphasizes the importance of intellectual intuition, which transcends the limitations of sense perception and discursive reasoning. True knowledge can only be gained by turning inward and contemplating the eternal forms within the intellect, thereby accessing the divine wisdom that resides in the soul. Plotinus's philosophy offers a well-structured and consistent metaphysical framework centered around the One as the divine origin of all existence. His system encompasses a hierarchical arrangement of reality that includes the One, the intellect, the world soul, and the material world. As a divine spark, the human soul possesses the potential to ascend and unite with the One through philosophical contemplation and the cultivation of virtue. Plotinus's thought not only provides a solid foundation for the development of Neoplatonism, but also contributes significantly to our understanding of the nature of reality and the human soul's place within it. Plotinus's refutation of Gnosticism. Plotinus was critical of Gnosticism, a religious and philosophical movement that flourished during the 2nd and 3rd centuries CE. Gnosticism was characterized by its dualistic worldview, which posited a fundamental opposition between the material world and the spiritual realm, and its emphasis on the importance of secret esoteric knowledge, gnosis, for achieving salvation. In his Enneads, particularly in Ennead II, 9 and Ennead V5, Plotinus offers a refutation of Gnosticism from a Neoplatonic perspective. 1. Rejection of dualism. One of the key points of contention between Plotinus and the Gnostics was their dualistic view of the cosmos, which regarded the material world as inherently evil and irredeemable, and the spiritual realm as entirely separate and opposed to it. Plotinus, on the other hand, maintained a monistic and hierarchical view of reality, in which the material world, despite its imperfections, was ultimately derived from and connected to the divine source, the One. Plotinus argued that the Gnostic dualism was fundamentally inconsistent with the Platonic tradition, which emphasized the interdependence and unity of all levels of reality. 2. The demiurge and the material world. The Gnostics believed that the material world was created by a lesser, ignorant, and malevolent deity called the demiurge. This belief was in stark contrast to Plotinus's understanding of the divine intellect, nous, as the source of the eternal forms and the world soul, which together shape the cosmos according to the divine plan. Plotinus criticized the Gnostic conception of the demiurge as an ignorant and imperfect creator, arguing that it contradicted the Platonic notion of the cosmos as a reflection of the divine, characterized by order, beauty, and goodness. 3. The role of gnosis. Gnosticism placed great importance on the attainment of secret, esoteric knowledge as the means of achieving salvation and escape from the material world. Plotinus, however, emphasized the role of philosophical contemplation and the cultivation of virtue in the soul's ascent towards its divine source. While he acknowledged the importance of intellectual intuition and the limitations of sense perception, Plotinus maintained that true knowledge and spiritual progress were accessible through reason and self-reflection, rather than the revelation of hidden mysteries. 4. The ineffability of the One. Both Plotinus and the Gnostics recognized the existence of a transcendent, ineffable reality beyond the material world. However, Plotinus criticized the Gnostics for their tendency to anthropomorphize the One and attribute human-like qualities to it, such as jealousy and ignorance. In contrast, Plotinus insisted on the absolute simplicity, unity, and perfection of the One, which was beyond all categories of human thought and language. Plotinus's refutation of Gnosticism is rooted in his commitment to the Platonic tradition and his Neoplatonic understanding of the cosmos as a hierarchical, interconnected, and ultimately divine reality. He challenged the Gnostic dualism, their conception of the demiurge and the material world, their emphasis on secret knowledge, and their characterization of the One. For your copy of the ebook, A Short Introduction to Neoplatonism, go to www.fromthequarries.com/jestingpilot.